Welcome everyone to another Freedom 35ers sit down. This is a series where we get to know artists and creators in the CNFT space. My name is Tommy. I go by TLMMY on Twitter and Discord.
My name is TJ. I go by Lazy T on Twitter and Discord.
And I am the other Tom. I go by Lavish Bear on Twitter and Discord.
And today we're joined none other by Fettuccine, the creator of Angel Baby Hit Squad. Fet, welcome on, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I think we've been following, at least I know I've been following you for quite a while now throughout multiple projects and found you throughout the CNFT space. And now I know you're over on the east side, have dropped your own project. And, you know, what I always ask this every time anybody gets onto one of these sit downs is what got you kind of into the CNFT world in the first place?
So I started in the NFT world in Top Shot, like NBA Top Shot. Just collecting those and seeing like how crazy that community was in the Discord. And that was how I got involved with Discord and those different communities. And just by chance, I had followed on Twitter Greek Freak, who is the creator of Bizarre Stars. Yeah. So when I saw him make some random tweet one day and it was like, these things called space buds are dropping. You should probably hop in. Yeah. I bought Cardano. Like I was always involved with crypto. I've had crypto for years, but I never was involved with Cardano. So I bought $500 worth of Cardano, and I bought 2 space buds with Coinbase. So I ended up losing those 2 space buds because it wasn't an NFT supported.
I was going to say, damn, what a tip to get like right off the bat. That's one to get in on. What a story.
I bought it with a non-NFT supported wallet, so I ended up losing those. And I realized what I did like immediately after I did it. So just trying to recover those losses, I minted 7 more correctly, still using that $500. So that was my only investment I ever made into Cardano, was that initial $500. And then within that week, I flipped 3 of them for 3,000 ADA, and I held on to 4 of them, and I just super degened into every project from then on. And now I'm at 2,000 NFTs. Funded my entire Angel Baby Hit Squad with that initial $500. So it's been a really crazy, it's 8 months or whatever it's been.
Yeah. So space buds, I know that's a harsh lesson to learn. I always see that now, and every single drop you do is like, make sure you're not sending from an exchange. Like,
now it's in big red letters because of my mistake.
I've also never considered that. Are those so those 2 space buds, are they just gone? Like they're still,
I mean, I look at them every once in a while just to remind myself of what I did.
So it's almost like a burn wallet. They just kind of got sent to a burn wallet.
Yeah, just to bring myself back down to earth and be like, so they're still in Coinbase's wallet. Like I could see they're there with like 20 other space buds that other people made mistakes doing too. So I could see those space buds there, and I'm like,
I wonder when Coinbase opens up their NFT world, like if you can obtain them that way, like once they're allowed to have NFTs.
Apparently they're doing an NFT recovery service, but it's only for Ethereum right now. So I'm assuming down the line that they'll expand it to like Solana NFTs and Cardano NFTs. So hopefully in 5 years, I'll get my NFT back.
It's going to be like those guys who minted like Bitcoin way back in the day, forgot their wallets they even existed, and all of a sudden space buds are worth 100,000, 200,000 ADA. Yeah.
It's like forcing me to hold it, which is nice.
I'm right. Surprised.
I'm curious. I never actually looked at that. How much were the mint price for space buds?
It started at 10 ADA and it went up to 100 ADA. So I got in at 60 and I minted 7 of them.
Jeez.
Actually, I minted 9, but 2 were incorrect.
Man, I got into, I kind of introduced our group into the CNFTs. We were always, our group Freedom 35, we had a group text. That's how our thing happened, was we were into XRP and like Tron and Ethereum back in that time. And we were, we thought we were going to make it, back then, we're going to invest all our money, get into this stuff. And then like years went by and it just kind of sat and went dormant. We would send a text chat every now and then. And then this year kind of sparked when all the meme coins started taking off in about like April, May-ish. We started jumping back into it as a group. And then I kind of really did my research into Cardano then. I didn't really have anything until about April of this year. And found CNFT.io about 2 weeks after it launched, and like right in the beginning of August. And that's how I got into this and started pushing us over into like our first big drop as a group that some of us got into was the Clay Nation 10K drop. So that was our first like real interaction into it. And I actually had a period to purchase a Space Buds, and there was like 2 projects at that time. I had about 800 ADA to spend, and Space Buds were sitting at like a 650 floor then. And I picked a bit punk of, I thought they were the crypto punks of Ethereum, and it was a bad move. so good. But it was fun. Everybody has a fun story to get into.
You still have that too, don't you, Tommy? To remind you?
I sold that thing, and we got out of there real quick, and I reinvest. But I was the same way, man. When I was on CNFT every single day, man, it was just, all right, there's a new project, there's a new project, there's a new project. Just spread yourself real thin. And some of them took off, and others just sit in that graveyard of your wallet.
Right. I think I got lucky seeing projects from the beginning. Seeing from when Cardano bits, you had to send in ADA to the address that they posted on Google Docs. Like there was no website or anything like that. It was just so insane. But I watched every single project come out from the very beginning, from the first project. So I knew the creators of them. I knew the development team behind it. So I had like kind of an inside scoop on which ones had a really established team and which ones didn't. So that I think that really helped me choose my winners and stay away from the losers a lot more effectively than just somebody who came in a little bit later. So I think that's my benefit of being a little bit earlier. That really helped me in that sense.
Oh yeah, it definitely pays off. Yeah, Cardano bits, I think that was the second NFT I ever bought, and I just bought it just because I liked it. Had like my birth year on it. I was like, oh, that's a cool looking one. I'm gonna buy that thing, and ended up buying a collab bit afterwards as well for a pretty cheap price that I still hold on to. Just one of those days people will find out about those. From the early days. And we had actually just talked to a few weeks ago, Corn and Friends, because I know they were there from the beginning. So it was kind of cool to hear everybody's stories who were there from the beginning of CNFTs until now, because a lot of them have made either good investments or have got themselves established to a point where they're a big point inside the community itself. And obviously you being inside of that, I think my first exposure to you outside of just seeing random tweets and stuff was the Shapes ADA project that you had done. And so I have a few shapes myself that sit inside of there.
Yeah, there's really cool things coming with Shapes down the line. We were planning on releasing it at 50%, but there's in the next week or two you'll see something cool with Shapes come.
Dope.
I think Tommy, you sent us some of those early on, and that was a little before I had gotten into it. And even then, I was kind of like, "What are these NFTs? Like these are shapes. I don't understand what's happening."
Well, dude, they got there was random ones, right? Like everybody would just, it was nothing, no pressure, no rarity charts, no nothing. It was just, here you go. Here's some cool layer. And everybody started developing like, hey, the 3 ones, if you got like a 2-1 that like you could barely even see a shape on there, they became like the rare ones out of the group. And, it was cool. The Discord was lit in the beginning of that, and everybody started naming the different shapes inside there. That was a cool little thing. And then eventually we brought you into we saw it all of a sudden at Angel Baby Hit Squad. That was a new thing you were dropping out there, and it was different because you were inside the Cardano community, but you were dropping it on ETH. And you wanted to connect an actual bridge between the actual 2 chains to kind of merge it and develop the communities together and kind of, ease people into Cardano, because a lot of people on the east side, like, oh, Cardano has NFTs, never even knew about that, So what got you thinking to actually starting the actual Angel Baby Hit Squad itself?
Well, yeah, so I've been involved. I've been a collector longer than anything else, and then like you were saying, I promoted for artists and I promoted for projects before, and just being on the collector side and being on the creator side, I wanted to create something of my own. So Angel Baby Hit Squad is the first project that I actually came up with, that I actually put out. I formed the team, I formed the idea and put it out there instead of just helping somebody else who had the idea. So that was really exciting for me. Finally creating something of my own. The initial idea came from, I've always been a collector of like anything. So I have Ethereum NFTs, I have Cardano NFTs, and I just saw how beautiful like the Cardano ecosystem was. Just how we all came up and we're interacting with each other on Discord. Anytime you wanted to buy an NFT from somebody else, you had to have a 5-minute conversation on Discord with them, learn about them, their background, and then be like, all right, I'll send you the ADA. I trust you to send it back. And through those interactions, we built a really beautiful community, and the artists had to create Discords and connect with their community to sell anything. And then I saw the Ethereum side, which just had so many more collectors and so much more capital and the capabilities of the NFTs in terms of utility, which was so much more developed. And I wanted to connect those two communities in some way. And I had just a chance call with Bondly Finance one day, and they were like about a different project. And they're casually, they mentioned, oh, by the way, we figured out how to bridge an Ethereum wallet to a Cardano wallet. And then like the light bulb went off, and I'm like, all right, perfect.
Yeah,
we're gonna create this project where we drop the initial NFT on Ethereum and then provide the utility on Cardano. So it's exposing these Ethereum collectors to the Cardano NFT ecosystem and NFT scene, and they'll see kind of that beauty that I came up with, and the rest of the team came in, and the entire team is Cardano native. So even our developer is a Cardano developer, and I was just like, because you couldn't find a Solidity dev at the time, so I was just like, you need to learn Solidity. Here's a few months, figure it out. And he figured it out. We have such a good smart contract that he wrote, and it's just been smooth. It's been really, really great.
Well, even I forget his name now. Your buddy that told you about the Space Buds, you've even brought, he's involved in the project too.
I brought him in. I knew him in the Top Shot days because we had traded a little bit, but just as like a thank you almost for bringing me into the Cardano scene, I brought him in. He actually introduced me to Shinji, Akira, and King Debs, who are our artists for the Angels. So Greek Freak has been a really awesome addition to the team.
So the Top Shots, that's like the baseball cards for the NBA, right? That was what that project was?
Right. They're all NFTs.
And you said you started as a collector. I mean, did you collect baseball cards or like Pokemon cards like way back in the day before all this crypto and NFT?
Yeah, never Pokemon cards, but I have probably 50,000 baseball cards and basketball cards.
All right.
It's stupid amounts, and that's like kind of what I do with everything. Like I degen in, and I got lucky that some of them actually end up working out. So this one ended up working out.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Bizarre Stars were like one of the first like things that I had seen when I got into the CNFT space too, because they were doing all the promo tokens then. But I was always curious because I was like, damn man, that artwork looks really dope. It's all based on the current NBA players, and they turn them in like the actual stars themselves.
And what's really cool about that project is it's not generative. So it's all every single one of them was hand drawn specifically for that NFT. It wasn't generative at all. So it took them 4 or 5 months to make the artwork, whereas a normal job you could do it in a few weeks if it's 2D. That the reason why Angel Baby Hit Squad took so long is because it's 3D generative work. So we had to make sure every single layer worked well. We had to find every combination that didn't work well together, and it takes very long to 3D model 200 different attributes.
I remember seeing too, it took you guys about 6 months to get everything up until launch point for that.
And we were actually working until the day before we launched. I kept saying like, oh, we're about to launch. Now it's really just waiting until we had the full capability to do it. We worked 6 months straight on it.
You've been working on this longer than you've even been in the space, Tommy, and you've been in longer than me and TJ. So that's been that long in the making. That's crazy. I didn't realize that the idea went back that far, that you guys had that light bulb way back then.
It happened in the, I don't know if you've heard about like the Winged Warriors.
Yeah.
It's a group that I started.
Ape.crypto. Yeah, right.
It's a group that I started for the Cardano bit, people who collected winged ones. I got you. So anybody who had a wing was allowed into the group, and it just so happened that we got like the biggest collectors, like Faha Dukin was in it. AP 2005 is in it. Every single huge collector ended up being in it, and then we started allowing creators into it. So then it was kind of like this hub for the biggest collectors and the biggest creators to talk, and in that group chat is where I was like, hey, I have this idea for an NFT project. Who wants to get in on it? And Rokindo and Sick both said yes, and that was how I started Angel Baby Hit Squad.
Dude, that's awesome. Because I remember we weren't sure when the actual drop itself was happening. I was following you guys, and we know they were doing you guys were doing a stealth drop, because we were very confused. I think I actually I talked to you briefly in like a space at one point. I was like, hey, on our podcast, we're asking how do people from Cardano's side actually mint over on Ethereum. And I think you had kind of, but we'll explain that to you guys, no worries. And then we were talking to Jason the week before, and he's like, or that week of you guys minting, he's like, yeah, Angel Baby's coming out this week in a couple of days. And I was like, are they? And he's like, yeah, it's a stealth drop. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, but when is it actually coming out? And I think that was the day, like it dropped on that Friday, I think it was. And then so me and Tom actually we were debating. We're like, I don't know if, because I have my MetaMask, but I've never actually like fully been like committed into like the Ethereum system. So I was kind of hesitant on the gas fees and stuff. And eventually, as I watched, I think you guys were about 1,000 sold into it. And we're like, you know what? The artist lineup you have for that on the CNFT space alone is worth the price of admission, just because that you have a star-studded cast of people over there. I'm like, well, I'm in. So I ended up minting one in, and then I think a few hours later, Tom, you had jumped in as well.
I had to. I had to. I mean, we were watching it, and I was especially just for the airdrops because of all the people you have involved. I'm like, this is, some of my only chances to maybe get some of these, because getting some of the floors on their early stuff was kind of impossible at that time. And I was really planning on, I had made a mistake because I was like, I have a bunch of XRP I found in a wallet. You can just transfer that to Ethereum. I'll snag one of these. This sounds great. I want to get involved in this. And then realized, oh yeah, you can't trade XRP on Coinbase. So that didn't work. And it was kind of then, do I really want to move things around to do this? And Tommy, you sent yours in our group chat saying, I just got my Angel Baby. And I was like, damn it, I have to do this. You son of a bitch.
Oh yeah. The artwork is dope. Yeah, I think what you got, is there 14 official airdroppers who are currently signed up on that? And then obviously some of the big boys, like, you got Yummies, the Space Buds, Clays, Beyond Rockets, Aeonium Sky, Happy Hoppers just jumped in, and of course Jason Matias and True Artist, Chatty Nassar. There's so many like good people on that list. It's like, if you weren't able to jump into their projects, here's a cool way to get involved with that. So how did you actually hook up or secure those connections? Obviously you've been in this game for a while now, and you've made a lot of, how did you actually get them to be like, hey guys, I need you to develop some airdrops for our stuff, and we're going to make this really exclusive over here?
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like I have an easier time than a standard person creating a project would, solidifying the relationships with each person to do the airdrop, because I was there when all these creators first released their first collection, and I've been a long time collector, pretty much every single one of them, besides the newest one, besides like Happy Hoppers, which just didn't release yet. But so the general idea behind the airdrops was I wanted to give these Ethereum collectors who would be experiencing Cardano for the first time a really good, like really great starter pack of Cardano NFTs, and give them a very like an all-encompassing idea of what the capabilities of Cardano NFTs are. Yeah. So I wanted to do Jason Matias because he's super talented in photography. I wanted to do Tyler with Spaces because his 3D modeling is just out of this world. It's like nobody's seen how like the quality of his artwork. I wanted to do Space Buds and Clay because they're the top projects. I wanted to do Gloss because it's like a kind of a psychedelic twist. So there was a reason behind every single airdropper that I put on the list. And then there's going to be collaborations down the line with Demon Baby Hit Squad, which is going to come later, for a lot of those projects that I had to turn down because I reached out to a lot of projects, like Clay and Yummy and Space Buds, and then a lot of projects reached out to me like wanting to be a part of it. And I had to pick which ones I thought would be a good representation of Cardano NFTs.
That's one of my favorite parts about it. If you are really trying to bring people from Ethereum, they're going to look at these artists that they're not going to have heard of, but it's going to take them 5 seconds to see that these are all the biggest names in the CNFT side. They're going to jump right in. Like, these aren't just like, what am I actually getting on my airdrops? I don't know who any of these people are. And then they're going to start looking up Space Buds, Clays, Yummies, all these, and be like, oh, okay, this is all the big names I'm going to get right involved in then.
Yeah.
Right. And it was very intentional that I put Jason first, because you immediately, when you see one of his pieces, you just see how powerful it is. Any of his landscape photography, any of his like his fantasy collection that he did just before this. There's a lot of power behind the image, and I just think that photography NFTs don't get the attention that they deserve. So I wanted to highlight him to be first. So you're like, wow, you're getting this 3D generative piece, but the first airdrop's a photograph. What's the next airdrop going to be? Like, if it's that crazy, if it's that much of a difference, what could every single step after this be?
And he has, I mean, I've seen him in the Discord. I know it's angel based, of course. And then I think there's, because he's also very talented with the editing and stuff. He'll have like 5 or 6 variations of the angel that he's going to drop.
5 tiers, right?
Okay.
5 tiers on the first one. I said, so basically what I told each airdropper is the minimum amount of variations that you can make is 5. So we're going to see anywhere from 5 to 15, and I'm sure some airdroppers are going to make more. So the tiers are constantly going to be changing. And the prompt was just make it angel themed. So I don't want to spoil it, but like some things that like, I think Beyond Rocket said he was going to make heaven and stuff like that. Like it's all really, really cool stuff that's going to come.
So if you purchase an Angel Baby Hit Squad, let's say in Q3, do you get the airdrop from the first 2 quarters, or no, you get it from 3 and 4, or that's it?
No. Yeah, you get it from when you purchase it on. So if you miss airdrop 1 and then you mint your angel, or you purchase it from somebody else, you'll only get airdrop 2 to 14.
Gotcha.
And also the airdrops were just kind of like a fun addition. That was never the full intention of the project. We wanted the purpose of the project was always to lead into Demon Baby Hit Squad and have that native Cardano NFT.
Oh, okay.
So you guys are, so eventually as the Demon Babies, they're going to be minted in Cardano?
Correct. So what we're going to do is we're going to airdrop tokens for the same way that we're going to airdrop the airdrops. We're going to airdrop tokens, and that's going to be basically your whitelist opportunity to Demon Baby Hit Squad. And those will be tradable, those will be sellable, so you could sell those to other people in the Cardano community, because a lot of Cardano people didn't want to get involved with Ethereum, so their introduction to what we're doing will have to be through purchasing these tokens from people who initially supported through Angel Baby Hit Squad. So that's going to be like a really exciting trading facet that the collectors of Angel Baby Hit Squad are going to get.
Well, so Demon Baby, Angel Baby, I know it's something that me, Tommy, and TJ have all speculated on. How babies? Why babies? How'd you end up on that?
So initially I was like, I had the idea, I just didn't know what I wanted to do. What kind of like, I mean, I've seen Bored Ape Yacht Club, I've seen all these other ones. So my girlfriend has this clothing brand called 99 Angels, NYC. So she makes all these angel drawings and clothing and stuff that she puts on her website. So I'm like, all right, I'll do angels. And then I was like, what's a funny 4-word combination I could do? So I'm like, Angel Baby Hit Squad, like the most innocent thing with like a hit squad at the end.
Those gangsters saying at the end,
yeah, exactly. So I thought that was hilarious. So we went with that. You could see, I mean, if anyone has a video, you could see that.
There you go.
And then we were gonna do the Cardano native version, which was gonna be Fallen Angel Hit Squad, but then we just wanted to make it like a completely different spin, so we just did Demon Baby Hit Squad.
Yeah, see, that's we were wondering that too, because it's like you got these like almost like cute little, like, remember the angel dolls or that you've seen like in your parents, like the old like ceramics and stuff like that.
Yeah, like ornaments on your Christmas tree.
They're just nice, but then all of a sudden you see one with like a rocket launcher or a block or something like that.
Mine's got brass knuckles on.
Yeah. Mine's holding an apple, so I got the nice one over there. Yeah.
I like that. I do like the logo quite a bit, but I have to tell you that seeing that gives me flashbacks, and I hate it because when you purchased, you had to wait that period until it unlocked, and that was one of the longest waits. I mean, already just the stress of getting into Ethereum, do I have enough for the gas fees and everything like that? Everything went through. That it's very easy once you do get that through with the smart contracts over there, but then just sitting there refreshing the page, waiting for my angel pay. And then yours showed up, Tommy, and our other buddies showed up. I said, mine's not here yet. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I bought mine before yours, and they had to explain. You have to actually
click the refresh metadata.
Yeah.
Yep.
The logo is actually designed by like a OG Cardano artist, Julian Lyle. If you've ever seen some of his stuff, like you'd have to go deep diving to find his stuff. But I reached out to him because I thought it was like super sick line work. And I gave him a general idea of what I wanted, and he came up with that. So
No, it's definitely dope looking. I love the look of that. It was just, yeah, I was always curious of how that developed, of why angel babies and why are they holding all these like weapons right now on there. So that's a cool backstory for that. And I know, as far as I know, I think there's 7 ultimates out there, and only one of them's been pulled still.
yeah, that's so annoying that
Yeah.
out of 40, I don't even know, 4,300 minted so far, only one has gone out. So in the remaining 6,800, there's 6 remaining. And I want it to go back out so badly. The Shinji and Debs put in like multiple days of work into each of the ultimates. So I feel like they're so unappreciated right now. And I just I wish they were out already, but I feel it in my bones that one is coming soon.
It's gotta be tough not to like kind of sneak preview those, like, because they just look so good and you're like, I really want people to see these, but I can't. I tried keeping like, I teased a few of them, and then I tried keeping some of them hidden. So one of like the one that was pulled so far, that one was never released. Like nobody knew what that one looked like, which is cool. So seeing everyone being like, that has to be an ultimate.
Yeah. No, I saw the go ahead, TJ.
Out of the 4,300, do you know how many actually came strictly from the ETH side versus people from the Cardano side?
Yeah, so the community so far is 65% Cardano and 35% Ethereum, which is expected.
Of course, that's awesome though.
Yeah, a completely Cardano team. So totally expected. What's been cool is since we released the function that you could purchase with ADA, still I would say about 25-30% of our purchases are through Ethereum. So
really?
So that, yeah, so it's
amazing.
still keeping up. Yeah, it's still keeping up on the Ethereum side, even with that Cardano purchasing functionality.
Can you explain that a little bit too? Because I know it's more of a recent development. So for people looking in on the ADA side, like what do you have to do in order to purchase an angel baby, and how does that process work? Like, do I send my ADA? I saw something about an escrow being created inside the Discord.
Right. So we didn't create like a functionality where you could send an ADA and you automatically get the
We're not
angel.
there yet.
Yeah, we're not there yet. We're actually, my team is working on it. So we hopefully in the next like few months we'll have that functionality. But right now it's just us doing it for you. So you create the MetaMask, and then you send us the ADA. Once you send us the TX ID and your MetaMask wallet, we just purchase the angel and we send their unrevealed one to you. It's just making the process easier for those coming from the ADA side.
Right.
Like a helping hand essentially. So it makes it an easier process. And I like that.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Exactly. And I was getting 100 DMs a week asking if they could buy with ADA, and I'm like, finally, I'll just do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys even have, I think it's 30 ADA for the kind of
like
fee. It's like a convenience fee though. I like that. You know, it's
you're
not going to go through all the work to do their transfers. So
exactly. And initially that was the plans, 30 ADA, but that 30 ADA actually put it over 300 ADA for the entire transaction, and I didn't want that. So I capped it at 290 ADA, which ends up being like a 10 or 12 ADA service fee or something like that. So it's actually lower than I announced. But
better than Ticketmaster service fees.
That's a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lower service fee than I announced, but I just didn't want to make a whole new announcement saying it's less. It's like 15 less.
It's a nice surprise if they're already going to do it. Then you go, hey, by the way, it's half
by
off
the way,
service
it's not
anyway. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so
exactly. You're paying like $20 more or something like that.
See, that's not bad then. So the main thing that the Cardano users need to take away is like, I'm going to send you the 298 or whatever it is, and then they're required to make their own MetaMask, and they're going to tell you they're going to send you the wallet address of their MetaMask, and then from there on, you guys kind of carry that process to them.
Right, exactly. And when you're minting with Ethereum, you have the limit of 7 per transaction, but when you're buying with Cardano, we're doing the process for you, so you could do as many as you want. So I know like Drams messaged me and he's like, yo, I want to, he's like, I want to take the top spot again. I realize I'm in second. So he's like, can I buy 12 of them? And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Why not? Right. He's trying to pull that ultimate, man. I never forget, man. He's got the duck on there. He's got 1 million clays. It looks like 200 and something of those things.
And his Cardano tree forest, so there's 420 of them.
Ah, man.
But I thought my 100 was a lot.
You have 100 Cardano trees?
Yeah.
See, were you on I'm assuming you were there on midday then for those.
I minted 2 of them while I was driving, and I didn't pay attention to them until I got home and I looked at them and I'm like, these are just way too cool. like that they changed based on it. So then I went on my computer and I
Start
spent
sweeping the floor.
every single ADA that I had across my 20 Cardano wallets. I spent on Cardano trees. So I ended up minting 140 of them in their last year. And then
it was like 25 ADA or something. I remember I minted 2 of those. I minted 2 on the start because you had to buy them in a bundle. I think at that time it was like 2 for like 40 or 2 for 50.
I think mine was 2 for 80. And and I did 140 of them, and then I sold 40 at the peak, and I made back all my money, and then 5 times that, because I minted 1 epic, 5 super rares.
Nice.
So it's been pretty good, and I'm still holding on to the epic and 4 of the super rares.
Yeah, see, I minted a super rare on my last grab on one, and I think I sold it right away for like a decent profit, and bought back an alpha rare afterwards, and then bought back into it. So the trees are always a favorite of mine. We went back and forth with El Tano over there on the trees.
I like El Tano. That's one NFT that I just don't understand how it's as low of a floor as it is. I'm gonna hold it until it becomes the floor it deserves, because it's just such a crazy NFT.
Well, dude, they dropped the nano frames or something there where they actually have the physical frames. I don't know if you saw that just recently, where they're looking.
I saw that on Twitter.
So that's dope. I mean, it's cool to see like those projects from the beginning days on what each of them are all pushing the limits of the technologies out there. And it's cool to see from here, because as far as I know, you guys are the only project on Cardano that's doing any kind of bridge over to Ethereum that I know of.
Right, we're the first ever to do Ethereum to Cardano, which is really cool. That we have that name that we could brand on ourselves.
Oh yeah, so I know just following you a little bit on Twitter and stuff. You were up at NFT Week up in New York, and so how was that experience up there? I know that's got to be a crazy thing, because you were at the actual Bored Ape Yacht, the party up there. How was that?
That was insane. A really, really wild party. And just by chance, I was in line to pick up my ticket, and I was talking about my project to somebody else, and somebody taps me on my shoulder, and they go, "You're Fettuccine?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I'm Chaotic Mathematics," and I'm like, "No way!" Like one of the OG Cardano creators just happened to be next to me in line. But yeah, the Bored Ape Yacht Club party was just so nuts, and it really gave me inspiration for how I want to run Angel Baby Hit Squad and the utility, because they didn't announce anything. You went into this warehouse, and then they brought out Chris Rock, they brought out Aziz Ansari, they brought out the Strokes, they brought out Lil Baby, they brought out Beck. Yeah, it was just such a wild party. For free, all the drinks were free, all the food was free. It was just insane, and that's something that I wanted to kind of replicate. So there's one club that I've locked down already for Angel Baby Hit Squad. I haven't announced it yet, but if you own an Ultimate, or if you're one of the Virtues, then you'll get the VIP experience at this club whenever you show up to it. So there's the utilities that I'm going to be releasing as we go on.
So you're looking to develop it more, because I think the whole thing with Bored Apes, obviously they've taken off and they're mainstream right now. All the celebrities have those things, but it's the inclusiveness, right? Like you get to be a part of this club that goes beyond the actual NFT and the art itself. And I think that's what people are looking for when they say utility and demanding all this different stuff right now. It's like, what are you going to do for me outside of this? So some projects can deliver that and some projects can't. So it's cool to see that. So you already have in mind a lot of different ideas for what you guys want for this project.
Absolutely. And that club that we locked down is the first step in a lot of things that I want to do.
So if you're an Angel Baby Hit Squad owner, you'll be invited to the thing. And then obviously if you're in the different tiers, you're going to be more of a VIP experience. Is that what I'm understanding?
Exactly. So as we grow as a project, the utility will expand to more and more of the collectors.
See, that's dope right there. Well, I'm glad we're a part of the club over here on that. We're still looking to get a couple more. It's been rough out here over in the CNFT world these last few weeks, man. It feels like
it's been brutal. I know. And I don't even look at floor prices or anything like that, but I have 51 space buds, and I was like, I was loving it when I saw it was like a 5,000, 6,000 ADA floor, and now it's at 3,000. I'm like, ugh.
That's fine, right? Because next year at this time everything's going to go crazy.
Exactly. When I saw it at 2,000 ADA floor, it just didn't make sense to me how it was so low. And that's what I'm feeling again right now. Like I kind of want to go back in and keep buying more, because it just doesn't make sense how the first project on Cardano is valued at 1 Ethereum.
Right.
Like when you look at the fifth biggest project on Ethereum, and it's like a 10 Ethereum floor, and the top one on Cardano is only a 1 Ethereum floor. It makes 0 sense, and that's why I just degened in super hard. I was winning every single auction trying to build my bag of space buds.
I think that also plays homage to like just how early we are in the actual Cardano NFT space, is because the market just isn't there yet, right? As soon as we start to get these DEXs in place and you start getting the actual smart contract marketplaces where everybody kind of goes to and knows about it, I think that's when you're going to start to see the floodgates open, at least because I know on our, like you said, on our Ethereum side, dude, the prices over there are insane. It's because those guys all started from the beginning too, and they made a lot of money doing what they're doing, and they got the resources now to do that.
Right. I also think that there's a big functionality missing on Cardano where we don't have those royalties implemented. Yeah. So Bored Ape Yacht Club, they might have made like $2 million, $3 million on the initial release, but they've made hundreds of millions or like $50 million on the trading of the royalty. And that's how they've been able to create the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Right. If Cardano NFTs don't have those royalties implemented, there's no way for Space Buds to become a club. There's no way for a Clay Nation to create this global community unless they just continually drop NFTs, and then you're getting super diluted.
Right.
If we want Cardano NFTs to get to the next level, we have to implement royalties, because that allows artists and projects to reinvest into their project and provide that utility for their community members. Because how much utility could Bored Ape Yacht Club have created a global brand with the $1 million that they sold their initial NFTs for? No. Yeah. But with the 50 million plus that they made from the royalties, and then the royalties from Mutant Ape Yacht Club and the royalties from the Kennel Club, then that's how they built that global brand.
Yeah. I think you're going to see that. I know Space Buds has their own marketplace that provides stuff, as well as Dead Pixels that just dropped. I know you got the JPEG store that's out there right now, and these other ones. I know there's a little bit of it's still real early when it comes to that thing. Do you think what's your take on that? I guess on Cardano's side is all-in-one marketplace, because right now it seems that everybody wants to be building their own kind of thing. How are we going to unite? Like, what are your feelings on that, about one true marketplace or multiple spread out?
My view as to why everyone's making their own marketplace right now is because there is no royalty, and by getting the only way to get the royalty is by creating your own marketplace and getting that 2.5%, 3% user fee just by interacting with the smart contract. So that's the reason why we see Pixels doing it on their own and Space Buds doing it on their own, and everyone's saying that, well, we're going to create a marketplace for themselves. Once the standard is put in place, I would love to see one centralized, just generally understood platform that every collector uses, like the OpenSea of Cardano. Because right now we see JPEG Store, we see Genesis House, we see Artano, we see CNFT.io, we see all, and then we see Space Buds and Dead Pixels, and Token, and we have 15 different marketplaces that we're supposed to be interacting with. It just makes no sense. I delisted all of my NFTs because I didn't want to support any platform that doesn't support royalties. So I'm waiting until there's one that interacts with that and provides the royalties to creators before I start selling my NFTs.
Well, the royalties, I mean, that's interesting you bring that up, because I've never actually considered that. That's why we kind of like doing these sit downs, is getting to talk to you on the other side of things, because we've seen projects that none specifically that I want to call out, but that have been struggling to kind of keep their community engagement going, and maybe their floor was not as strong even as like the mint price was, but they keep trying to keep the project alive, and it takes a lot of work. I can't imagine how much time and effort, and just even interacting and staying active on Twitter and Discord is an 8-hour job a day.
Exhausting.
Yeah, so you see some of these projects that say, guys, we kind of are giving up. Like, I'm sorry, we don't know what else to do. We're not, we did the drop, it went okay, but the floor is 10, and we don't know what to do to bring really a lot more value utility. We did a second drop maybe, and that floor is now 10 also, and they're not getting anything from it anymore because there's no royalties to kind of keep them motivated to keep working on it too then. But if they get those royalties, they can continue to engage, and actually it'd be worth a little bit more of their time then as well, where it's worth to continue to build that community. Right. It's really interesting to hear that. It makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah, and I'm just the type of person where if somebody invests money into me, into something that I created, I want to provide that value. But if you take the general person and you sell out a 10,000 piece collection on Cardano, and you made your $500,000, you made your $1 million, what after that is incentivizing you to continue developing on that project? Because you're only going to be dipping into the money that you made, and it's only going to go down. It's never going to go up unless you have those royalties implemented.
Yeah, that's a good project. I mean, that hits it right on the head. You see a lot of these projects that, I mean, that answers the question of what's the utility. Is it just art, or is it, you know, are we expecting more than just that artwork itself? We got into that question a little bit with Jason as well, because you know, from the photography side, hey man, I took a picture, this is what it is, and I hope you guys appreciate it. And you bought my art. And he goes, afterwards, what you do with it, I don't care, but I'm not, you know, I don't really owe you anything outside of that. But a lot of these guys want that.
Yeah, there's two different paths. If you're looking for that lottery ticket, like you're going to buy into the PFP project, if you're looking to appreciate art and appreciate artists, I think there's two different veins of where you could kind of invest your money in. And I always try to split it pretty evenly between the projects and the artists that I love, because when the Cardano NFTs were first coming up, it was these artists that supported the community. It was their Discords that everyone was hanging out in and talking with each other in. It wasn't like Cardano Bits Discord. It was Glus, and it was Chatty, and it was all of the smaller artists who are supporting the community.
Well, and you see that with a lot of the top projects now, where they didn't just come out of nowhere 2 weeks in, get 12,000 followers on Twitter, and then do a 10K drop. They, you know, similar to what you were involved in too, where they had small limited releases early on, and they got a following and built up in the community to where people knew who they were and trusted them, and also just had a good time engaging with them on a daily basis before they really got into their 10K drops. Because I know, Tommy, I mean, like you said, the projects that you got in early that you were doing, like Shapes, and what's the one that's I forget the name of it now. It's on my notes. The fork with the fettuccine.
The Fettuccine 111.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Where did that come from? I saw that recently.
That was so funny. That was just randomly Glus. He's a good friend just from interacting for months in Discord. And I helped manage for his artwork. I would help promote it. And then randomly he's like, hey, I made these fettuccines, and
I saw like on the spoon and the fork, just all wrapped up.
Just a fork, and like the pasta was floating around. And he's like, I want to sell these and make these your club. And I'm like, absolutely. And he's like, I want to split the profits. Like, you make half and I make half. And I'm like, I'm not taking any profit from it. I'm using my money that I make from it to buy angels, and I'll give them away. So what I did was my half went all into buying angels, and 10 of the people who bought the Fettuccine 111s got an angel baby hit squad for free. So that was like a really cool thing. Awesome. And yeah, so whenever I'm involved with like projects from now on, I'm gonna throw a little bit back to the Fettuccine 111 just because I think it's hilarious. And it was all just like, it was Glus just coming to me on Discord one day. Like, he's like, I spent hours creating this, so let's make something of it.
Now, I'm not trying to start a war here, because I am an angel hair fan. So fettuccine, was that a name you brought like from somewhere else, or is that just your favorite pasta? Where'd that come from?
Yeah, I mean, I never eat fettuccine. It was like a stupid, I think I was in high school or something at the time, and my Instagram name was just my name, and I wanted to make something more funnier. So I did Fettuccine al Fuego. And then it just stuck, and then I shortened it on Twitter to just Fettuccine, and that's what it's been.
We did see that Al Fuego the other day. We were looking at that. Yeah, that's great.
Fettuccine al Fuego is my Instagram name.
That's funny though. Everybody's got a little backstory on all of our names on that, so it's funny that it's stuck into the NFT world on that, because I think I've seen you in all different, like you said, in all different kinds of projects. I'm in the Aidonauts, the OG ones. I think you're part of that as well. So you're spread out over all different kinds of things, right? And so obviously you've been here since the beginning. What are some of your favorite projects that you're either whether involved in or just like to be a part of, that you own inside the scene space?
Yeah, so like I said, Cardano trees. I'm not involved with them at all, but I just love it. I love their community. I think Altano in the Discord.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting a call right now.
Oh, you're good.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think Altano in the Discord is just hilarious. Cardano bits, that's like my OG collection.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever sold a Cardano bit.
Mhm.
I just kept buying them. So I really love Cardano bits. I think just because they're the second collection off of Space Buds. Space Buds just because they're OGs.
Mhm.
I'm really excited about Equine coming out,
Yeah.
Faha's project. And then
Yeah.
I love like what all these individual artists have done. A lot of these projects, the PFP and stuff like that, I've tried to avoid recently, unless there's like an insane amount of hype, and I'm like, all right, I need to do it.
Like Happy Hoppers is another one recently that
Yeah,
they're about to
Happy
drop.
Hoppers, I'm definitely gonna get into just
Yeah.
because I'm friends with Udon
Yep.
and with Jub and Out of This World, who are all the creators of it.
Mhm.
So when I know the team behind a project, then I'll do that, and I'll support it fully. So that Happy Hoppers is definitely one of them too.
How do
Yeah.
you personally pick a project to jump in on when you're looking at stuff now?
Primarily the team behind it. If I know them, if I believe them, like it's very. I feel like we initially when Cardano and NFTs were coming out, people were very proud of their work and they really loved it and it was their babies and they wanted to grow it and make it something really special. And then in the last like month, I've just seen these projects come out of nowhere, immediately have 30,000 people on their Twitter and Discord, and I'm like, it's just so ingenuine,
Right.
Yeah.
that it just can't have my support. So when it's either a game changer or I know their team and I believe in their team, like that's why I'm fully supporting Equine, because I know
Yeah.
Marek, I know Fence Maker, I know Faha, and I know ZMC, and all of them are just like complete powerhouses in the industry, and they want to create something amazing.
Yeah, when you see a team like that, you have faith in the promises or the roadmap they're making. Like when you hear them say that they're working on a game and utility, you're like, look at the work that they've done and what they've been involved in. Because then every other NFT that comes out now is game, metaverse, and it's just
Exactly,
these buzzwords.
like,
but it's like, who are these people? They've never done projects. They don't even say who they are or have like a real about me on their team or anything like that. They just come out of nowhere.
Exactly, and if every NFT that said they have a game
Yeah.
released a game, there'd be 5 million games
Yeah,
in the
we
world
play
that
races.
nobody would ever play. It's like so insane that people would get so hyped about a game. Like I know just with how much I have going on every single day, I'm not gonna ever sit down and play one of these NFT games, and I don't know how anybody else would. And the amount of games that are promised right now, it doesn't make sense. And like you were saying about that powerhouse of the team, that's why I set up the team that I did for Angel Baby Hit Squad. They're all known, they're all doxed, and you know us in the community, and you've seen the stuff that we've supported, and you've seen the stuff that we've created, and that was the deciding factor in who would join the team.
Well, I was curious. So Shinji and King,
Yeah.
they come as a team, or did you bring them separate?
They're a tag team duo.
So it's like Step Brothers. We're interviewing together.
Yeah, out of South
Stage
Africa.
worldwide.
Yeah, they're a duo. They are part of this collective called the Guild, who all work on projects together. So it's not always Shinji and Debs, but you're like, when you work with the Guild, you get access to whatever artists they have available to them. And Greek Freak is part of the Guild. So he introduced me to Shinji and Debs, and that was how that relationship formed.
And then from how you were running yours, at least, I mean, did you kind of give them some ideas for like the weapons or accessories, or did you just kind of let them run wild?
So I had this vision in my head of, I wanted it to be like a Renaissance-y angel holding like weapons or like nunchucks and stuff like that. So I gave him a spreadsheet of like 200 different attributes broken down into like hats, into face, clothing, weapon, items, and I gave everything to him. And then I gave like 3 or 4 sections on each one, like Shinji's choice, Shinji's choice, Shinji's choice. So he had the general idea from me, and then he also had the creative freedom to put in some of the stuff that he wanted to do. So it was a nice balance between what I had in my head and what he had in his head.
And the 3D art, was that like how you originally envisioned it, or did you discuss 2D at some point, or was it just like 3D all the way?
It was 3D all the way because I wanted to distinguish my project. Yeah. And anyone and their mother could throw together a 2D generative project. I could sell a 2D generative project on Cardano in 2 seconds with the team that I built. I saw it for Okindo, Greek Freak, Sick, all of us pushing that on Cardano.
Yeah.
It'd be a joke. But what we wanted to do was create something different. And what we did was the 3D generative, the cross chain, and all these different things that nobody's ever seen before. And that's what we're also looking to do on Demon Baby Hit Squad. It's going to be utility on Cardano that nobody's ever seen before. And I'm not explaining that yet because we want to be the first movers. I don't want anybody to front run us on that.
Yeah, well, I've seen you guys pushing really hard now on like social media marketing, getting your guys' name out there. How's it been, at least I know you guys obviously doing NFT week now, you're down in Miami right now doing Art Basel. How's been the reception, I guess, from the East side saying, hey guys, we got a new project that's bridging the gap from Cardano, has it been positive, at least from the ETH people you're talking to, or, how's been that reception to that community?
Yeah, I mean, anybody I talk to on the Ethereum side is definitely a lot more receptive than I would have expected. Like any kind of hate that we've gotten has almost exclusively come from the Cardano side, just because they don't want to deal with the gas fees.
Yeah.
But yeah, from every single conversation, it's getting love. Like there's Bored Apes in our Discord. They don't interact much, but they've all collected. And I expect there to be more talk about the Cardano side once we start interacting with the Cardano side. Like once we give out those airdrops for the first time, I think that's when people are going to be like, oh, how do I create the Cardano wallet? How do I do this? How do I do that? But while we're interacting with the Ethereum side, there's obviously going to be more questions about Ethereum.
So I know you guys are dropping the snapshot. When's that happening? Is that already happened?
No, it's going to be either a day. It's probably going to be a day or two before before the first airdrop, which is December 10th. So the snapshot's going to be on the 8th or the 9th. Okay.
And then you guys are said, I think I saw announcements for the Discord are going to go over maybe Thursday this week on how to connect the wallets between there.
Correct. The bridge is ready. Lovelace just told me that they wanted to make a big announcement on their page on Thursday. So that's when we're doing it too.
Nice. Is that Lovelace the same Lovelace Publishing over there?
No, that's a different guy. Lovelace Metaverse as a Service.
Got it.
Okay. Created by Bondly Finance.
Nice.
Lovelace Publishing is a great guy, and like you said, I worked with him on Adanauts and a lot of other projects.
Nice. Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to that, man. I know I'm curious to see the first airdrop on Jason out there. I think that's going to spark a lot bigger interest and people pushing that way. And obviously with Clays and with Yummy, I know you guys are planning every 3 to 4 weeks or doing the airdrops on there for the current 14.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I think as some of the bigger people, maybe, Jason stuff, it's a cool introduction, like you said, to the photography side of those NFT drops, but going forward, maybe the Yummies, the Clays, the ones everybody seems to know the most, that may garner a little bit more attention on there too. So I'm curious to see what happens with you guys on that. I'll be there along the way for you guys as well.
And I think it legitimizes it too. Like, these are actually real. You're actually getting these airdrops.
Yeah. Is there any plans for the utility on those airdrops at all? I know CNFT, I'm part of the Legacy Pass over on CNFT Con. So they did their drop of the 2,500 either everybody did a fungible token of 2,500 straight. They divided them by 5 or whatever it was. Is there any plans to make anything different? I know you guys are tiering everything, or is that just, hey, it is what it is, guys. This is a free airdrop. This is nice artwork. Like do with it what you want. This is part of the perks. Or are you offering any kind of incentives for, I know obviously you're trying to get people into the project too. That's a cool way to bridge it, but.
Yeah, so I saw what CNFT Con did, and I love the team there, but I think it could have been planned a little bit better. I think just throwing, I have 3 of them and I got 77 airdrops. I think just throwing that many airdrops at people, it's a race to the bottom, to try to sell it. I didn't even bother selling them. Now I'm holding 77 NFTs that won't sell for 8 ADA.
Yeah.
So I planned it in this way where each artist will kind of get their limelight for 3 to 4 weeks, get to show off, we get to promote them. And then we're doing the tiers based on holders, not based on how many, not one-to-one with angels, it's one-to-one with holders. So instead of airdropping 4,300 of Jason's angels, we're only dropping 1,000. So we're not going to have that supply problem. We're having it's spread out so that people have the time to appreciate the artwork, and they don't have that feeling that they need to sell it immediately. And I think that those tiers will really help with the value of those. In terms of future utility, there's nothing planned right now. Like I said, it was more just like a fun thing that we wanted to add on as like a fun starter pack. And if you break down the initial cost in terms of ADA, I think it's 290 ADA for the angel. If you divide that by 15, that's only like 16, 17 ADA per NFT that you're getting. It's really like, in my head, like not financial advice. I think it's a no-brainer.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like for Jason, this is, you know, his photography is so amazing, and then he does such limited drops because they are, you know, pictures that he's taken and gone to those places to work on those things. It's a little bit out of my reach right now, actually buying some of his pictures. So this is going to be one of my early chances to get in on that project. Clay, I missed the drop on that. I wasn't quite in on that one yet. So a lot of these projects will be my first time getting to kind of join in on those communities instead of just watching from the outside. And just that alone was enough for me to be like, I want to buy this without ever seeing the angel in the first place. And then it's like, you also get an Ethereum NFT on top of that.
Well, I just like the fact that, like you said, you're bridging the two communities over there. Because at the end of the day, if we're going to ever succeed in this NFT world and in the crypto world, we all got to work together on this stuff. You know, it can't just be this side versus this side. And so, you know, there's got to be some way to unite the two. So I respect the fact that you guys are trying to do that and are making the push so early when we are early as we are in Cardano itself.
Right.
I never thought of it that way too, like dividing that big number up into the individual airdrops you get. And then it really, like you said, it's very cost efficient. Like you said, no brainer to get it. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think everybody's complaining about the 250 for Equine today. They announced their thing, and you look at the value of that on east side. He's like, look, that's less than 0.03 ETH over there. That's nothing, man. Like for what you guys are about to get for that bundle, you know.
Similar, it's a bundle. You get three. You know, you get the jockey, the horse, and the skin with it too. So it's not just a single NFT for that.
Right, and then you get the breeding. You get the breeding functionality and all that.
The living and dying sounds awesome too. I know they haven't exactly set on I think like a respawn amount or whatever, but 18 months or something re-rolling, 16 months. And then so it's every 3 to 4 weeks is the plan for the drops. And then I know this is still in progress, so nothing I think is official yet, but I think from the first announcement, Demon Baby maybe like mid next year sometime. So that would be kind of like halfway. There's still another whole half a year of drops, and even on top of that, airdrops. Right. So we're working on Demon Baby Hit Squad as we speak, but we want to be once Cardano has the technology, and it does, we're just developing on the developing technology for the functionality of what we want to do with Demon Baby Hit Squad. So basically, as soon as that functionality is there, we're going to release Demon Baby Hit Squad and continue the utility for Angel Baby Hit Squad before even as we release Demon Baby Hit Squad, because we want to have that cohesive ecosystem between ABHS and DBHS. I can't say too much about Demon Baby Hit Squad, but it's going to be definitely. It's going to be
try a little information now.
It's going to be exciting. That's all I can say. And especially those tokens getting airdrops to the Angel Baby Hit Squad owners, that 1-for-1 whitelist. That I think that's going to be very cool. Seeing people trading those.
Yeah, well, I think it's cool too, because again, eventually all these flipper mentality and all these people just in and out to make money are going to kind of get shaken out over this time, especially with the way drops are starting to get released against, the Pavia thing caused a huge problem this past week with botting and all that. So I think, eventually we're going to get past this point and over that hump. And I think once you get to that 1-to-1 light list for the Demon Babies too, you're going to have a group of people that are actually there for that project. They're not just looking to make a little quick buck and move on. Or we call them the zip and flips over on our side over here. But yeah, man. So I know I'm sure you got a bunch of stuff to catch up in, and you're down in Miami. It's a fun town. Have you been down in Miami before?
Yeah, I mean, I for my previous work, I left my work to go full time into crypto and NFTs. But for my previous work, I was head of marketing for a payment processing company for a bunch of international countries and clients, and so I was always flying, and I was always in Miami for the Southern American countries and all these different things. So I'm constantly in Miami, so it's coming back to somewhere that I'm familiar with.
Yeah,
Probably nice for the weather too right now, coming from New York.
Yeah, it was snowing in New York when I left.
Was it really, man? Yeah, it was cold this morning. We were down in like the mid 40s.
Cold for us. Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, for us. Yeah, right. But no, it'll be nice. So yeah, you're gonna be down in Art Basel this week, or Wednesday through through Saturday? I think the thing runs through.
Yeah, I'm gonna be here until Monday, but yep.
All right, Monday, cool. All right, well, yeah, I know we'll be down there on this Saturday too, so we'll definitely have to hit you up via DM or something after that, and catch you guys for sure, man. Well, again, for everybody else listening out there, I guess for Angel Babies, I know you guys are still pushing right now. Where can everybody find your stuff, and where should they go to look for an Angel Baby itself?
Yeah, so if you want to mint your Angel Baby Hit Squad, we're at 4,300 sold out of 11,000. There's still 6 ultimates to be found. So if you want to mint it on Ethereum, go to angelbabyhitsquad.com and just connect your MetaMask, and you'll be able to mint from there. If you want to mint with Cardano, just go into our Discord and open up an escrow ticket, and we'll be able to help you in there. And that's just discord.gg/ABHS.
Nice. Well, awesome, man. Well, we appreciate your time over here. Yeah. Right.
Oh man, I've been considering every time you say that there's 6 left. I'm almost like, do I just? I've almost thought of just letting mine go back on the market if someone wants to pick it up, and then I can go back and try and go for one of the ultimates. Could just take a little hit, let someone get mine for a little cheaper, and I'll pay to try and get an ultimate again or re-roll. Man.
Yeah,
and only 10 days left too. If people want to get in and get some Jason's art for the first airdrop, they only got these next 10 days. Or
no, they got the next 2 days, right? Because they're about to do a snapshot for that.
Yeah, right. We're snapshot on the 8th or 9th, so you have some time to get in before Jason's airdrop.
Cool. Well, I'm sure you're about to make some good connections down there this week, and hopefully push some people into that stuff. So, man, I appreciate your time and even jumping on with us, and we'll be looking forward to hopefully getting a chance to see you down there, or at least link up for a sec.
Yeah.
So,
thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All of you for having me.
Oh, of course, man. Well, we appreciate it as well, and thank you to everybody listening out here. Again, this is a Freedom 35er sit down, and Fet, we appreciate your time, man.